whistler? Where'd you come up with that? When did you start that?
My high school coach was a whistler, and I think I discovered in high school I could do that. Nobody taught me. It was just, I tried it one day and somehow it came out, but I'm a big whistler. I'm hurting your ears over there, but I apologize.
Shannon said when you whistle, they all turn around. Like all the players have learned to turn around and pay attention when you whistle.
It's a way to get their attention. Yeah. So
Pat Riley did it.
Is that right? He was pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
Phil Jackson.
Coach, what's been the toughest thing about jumping into your first head coaching opportunity this late into a season?
You know, really identifying what we could accomplish in a short period. You know, when a change is made like that in season, you can't change an entire team overnight or in 2 days. So our challenge has been to identify what we want to focus on right now in our last 30 games, and really on a day-to-day basis where we want to get better. And we've really looked at the defensive end, trying to really hammer that every single day, make that our identity, hang our hat there every single night. And it's been a daily process for us. We're a ways away from where we want to be, but we've made some strides. We feel like we have an identity, and we're going to continue to do that every single night.
JB, we asked you about your background in the film room. Eric Spoelstra got his start in the film room. Budenholzer got his start in the film room. Do you think that gives coaches an advantage when you start that way?
If it's an advantage, I think it's a great way to learn. I think you're in that cave for hours, you're breaking down film, talking to coaches, looking at tendencies, personnel. You're watching some of the greatest coaches, seeing what sets they do, how they use offense, how they use defense. So for me, I watched so much basketball my first 2-3 years, and really gave me a great base to see, what I liked as a coach, what worked, and really build a philosophy or a base. And then, as coaches, we're always evolving, always changing things. The game changes, the league changes, players change. So you have to adapt, but those first couple of years in San Antonio were valuable to me.
Spoon said that he had kind of that one-on-one relationship with Riley, same way you did with Pop. Where did that help you?
My greatest memories in San Antonio were post-game, the next morning after a loss in San Antonio, 6, 7 in the morning, having Pop knock on the door and say, let's watch the film, and sitting in a theater just like this with Coach Pop for 2 hours before the staff comes in, just he and I. The first couple, I just sat there and took notes. He told me what he wanted to show. As our relationship changed and grew, we would just talk basketball during those times. And I learned a lot during those moments with him, what he looked for, what he valued, and it was an incredible experience for me.
How much do you look up to or learn from a career path like the one Eric Spoelstra's been on?
I really look up to him, Frank Vogel, all these young men, young coaches who came through, the system that way as I did, and Mike Budenholzer. It's just I love watching them on the sideline because we've been in the same shoes. We've been in that video room and trying to work, trying to learn, and I really respect those guys. I hope they know it, but hopefully we'll just keep growing, keep learning, and getting better every day.
And Coach Fizdale, you have a relationship with him as well. Could you explain that?
He coached. He was the third assistant at San Diego when I was playing there. So he was one of my first coaches at San Diego, and he had just come from Miami, I believe, as an intern. And he was big into player development. He pushed me hard. He got me better. He got all our entire organization or our program better. So he was a big piece in me really wanting to pursue coaching, and he really gave me a step or a foot in the door in the NBA. He introduced me to a lot of men in the league. So I owe Fizz a lot. We hugged for a few minutes earlier, and he's a big part of why I'm here today.
Eric mentioned something about the San Diego Mafia. Was he part of that?
San Diego Mafia. That's correct. We can't play in the league, so we get to coach in the league.
Biggest adjustment for you moving over a chair?
Ooh, everything, from practice. You're the voice, you're the face. You have to bring it every single day. In practice, in game is very different. It's a completely different game for me. Being up, the number of decisions that I have to make in game, after a game, in practice, from travel, every single decision is new for me. So, but my focus is again on the team, trying to help them in practice, seeing where we can get better, and then within the game, I'm just learning. In the game, learning every single game. But there's a number of decisions you have to make: play calls, adjustments, matchups, rotations, when to take a timeout, how to interact with an official. All those things are new, and learning on the fly.
How has the adjustment been when you have to deal with playing time for guys who maybe assistant coaches can be a little bit more buddy with players, or when you go out, and especially before a game? How's it changed?
It's a major challenge. It's a major
distributing
challenge.
time.
Absolutely. But I'm trying to be honest with our guys. They all know they need to be ready every single night, and their number will be called at some point, and stay ready. When your number's not called, we expect you to be a great teammate, help and support your group. But it's also my job to communicate what I see, where they stand with me and the group, what my expectations are for the night. And I think I'm trying to help them see what the night will look like, what the next 2 days will look like, and so they stay ready mentally.
Coach, with defense as your emphasis, how important has Alfred Payton been, and tell us where your rookie point guard is at right now?
He's the face of our defense. His aggression, the way he picks up, he really starts our defensive pressure. We challenged him to stay in front of the ball, to be the aggressor, and it's really set a tone for our entire defense. He and Victor, and Victor's a part of that. Our 1 and 2 guards will continue to be the face of our defense. He's growing every day. We've challenged him. He sets the table for our offense. He's an extension of our staff, so he's out there. He's got to lead this group, and I tell him I don't know if he's a rookie, how old he is. He's our point guard, and we trust him. We believe in him.
As an opposing coach, your thoughts about Hassan, I'd say?
He's impressive. They've done a great job with him in Miami. They've done a great job. Changes the paint for them, long, athletic, can rebound, can block shots. He puts a ton of pressure on the rim. If you make a mistake in the pick and roll, he's going to make you pay for it. And all these guards are looking for him. All their guards are looking for him. He can finish. He's got to get a better back to the basket game than I saw early. So he's been impressive. Give Miami credit for really developing him.
Everyone good?